Nice. Look like we are live. Seattle Soca. Yours truly, DJ Pretty V. Seattle Soca. We all the way in Washington State. And today we're going to have Roger George. Definitely someone you want to hear from in the soca industry. He's been around for a while in soca, doing his thing and spreading the music all around the world. So Roger George is going to be coming on, and we're going to look at some of his tunes and see what his journey has been in the soca industry, and just see how life is in general, especially right now during this pandemic where a lot of things for folks are in disarray. So it's going to be an exciting interview. So stay locked in, stay tuned in. Seattle Soca on a Saturday in your area, man. Yeah. Every year traditional. We are the biggest show on the earth. I can't wait no more for the carnival. I can't wait no more. It's traditional. Can't wait to see still back on a floating tongue. Masqueraders coming down. We have the greatest show on the earth. We welcome the king and queen of carnival. Every year traditional. We are the biggest show on the earth. I can't wait no more for the carnival. I can't wait no more. It's traditional. I can't wait no more for the carnival. I can't wait no more. It's traditional. Can't wait to see still back on a floating tongue. Masqueraders coming down. We have the greatest show on the earth. We welcome the king and queen of carnival. Every year traditional. We have the biggest show on the earth. I can't wait no more for the carnival. Don't make fuss that we didn't get the code. I don't make us proud to the world. So don't be little the silver, I to deliver. Not for self only, but for his country. 3 bronze and a silver medal, a great achievement. A reason for joy and for merriment. So my message is bold and strong. I invite you to sing along. We singing for Ado a happy song. Join in the chorus, we singing a happy song. Come Jimbago, we singing a happy song. Jump for Ado, we singing a happy song. Let the world know we singing a happy song. Jump and wave, be happy, jump and wave. Go crazy, jump and wave. Be merry, jump and wave and wave and wave. This year for the festival, we partying all day long. Go out to go we singing a happy song. Hey! Be happy, play boy, play! Be just last year, I've had cause to mourn as I hear a next hero born. Gloria and Kitchener, both gone forever. I sat down and cried for a shorty eye. The mighty and Sundar Popo and Merchant also. What is going on, brother?
Hey, my man. Everything good?
Everything is good. Everything is good. Yes, yes.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Can you see
Lovely,
me?
lovely. So we have Roger George. You know, I'm pretty sure it's been a while since we've seen you because you're so international, man, all over the world.
Man, tell me about it.
So how the pandemic sort of landed you, man?
Well, just like everybody else, we just have to like adjust to the new world, the new world order.
Right.
This is just how it is, you know.
Yes, yes, yes.
Doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense being frustrated and you know upset about something you have no control over. So you just gotta roll with the punches, change with the
Definitely.
change, you know.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
So it definitely inspired you to create a new song, A Taste of Carnival, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, right now in Trinidad, we're doing a Taste of Carnival, right? I mean, I'm not in Trinidad, I'm in
Hmm.
Washington State, but um,
Yeah.
did you come up with a song immediately after you heard about, you saw that, coming about, or, something
Actually,
you
yes. Immediately after I heard they announced this year we're gonna have a taste of carnival, I was like, you know, the bells and whistles went off in my head, like ping. Okay,
Right,
so maybe that's what we should, you know, I should try to pen something around that same area, you know, to try to, you know, give people a little incentive that, you know, a taste of carnival is better than no carnival. I mean, had they come
definitely.
up with nothing for this year, it would have been chaos, you know. So
Yeah,
at least let's try to have a little, you know, joy and happiness around a taste
right.
versus nothing, you know. So the song is
Not,
kind of like around
not
that.
everyone is
Hey, this is just a taste.
not everyone is fortunate to be able to go to Miami Carnival and all the
You
other
know what I
places.
mean? Yeah, yeah. And Miami Carnival was kind of like the last biggest carnival that they had
Yeah,
before, you know. So I mean, knowing that Trinidad is the mecca of carnival, and although we wouldn't be able to portray our creativity, you know, in a big way for the world to see, at
right,
least you know we can do something to represent for this year that you know the carnival still had you know still happened in Trinidad, as you know, as small
right.
as it will be, it still has a little carnival, you know, that some people could at least see a little bit of carnival, you know.
Definitely, because I mean,
Yeah,
how could the country that is quote unquote the mecca of
yeah,
carnival as we know it not have a
yeah,
carnival? We will lose
yeah,
respect.
yeah,
Somebody else
exactly,
will take it.
exactly, exactly. And you know Brazil is right there in line behind
Oh
us,
yeah,
right there in line.
oh
So you
yeah,
can imagine, you know, us not having a carnival 2 3 years straight. You know, it can be chaos for
yeah,
tourism, for everybody, you know. So
yes,
I think the decision for having a Tisa Carnival was, you know, was great, you know.
yes,
A lot of people all over the world, they look forward to Trinidad Carnival first before anything else to see what's going to happen here on this
right,
platform in Trinidad and Tobago, then throughout the world afterwards. You know, so we are the mecca when it comes to carnival, you know.
yes,
So I think it was very important to show the world that hey, you know what, we may not be able to give you a whole carnival this year, but guess what? Kind of like this is just like a preview for next year. So this is just a
right.
taste of what it is right now. But next year, full blast. God forbid, you know, any other world
Any other
pandemics, you know. Yeah,
any
man.
other stressors? So
Yeah, yeah, you know.
tell us, what, so how did you get into soca? I mean, from all the way, just give us the full story, how it kicked off for you.
Well, when I was a young boy, going to school in St. Joseph, Trinidad, I, you know, I got into acting, and I was with the Best
Okay.
Village group. You know, in Trinidad, you have the best, all of the villages going up for the best village, you know, like a competition with all the villages. So I was in
Okay.
the best village group for St. Joseph, and we went up for best village. And with my acting, my little roles that I got, they offered
Yeah.
me a little scholarship for the West
Nice.
Indies, UE. Um, and at that time, I you know I wanted to start off with calypso, and I went into the junior calypso monarch. I won in 1988, and it started to kick off from there, from the junior calypso monarch in 1988. And I really wanted to act, wanted to be an actor,
Yeah.
but I reached a crossroad in my life where I have to choose. You know, here I am on one hand getting at 15 years old getting to join one of the greatest bands in Trinidad called Charlie's Youth with David Rudder and Tambu, And then on
Wow.
the other hand, I'm getting a scholarship to go to UWI to do acting for 6 months. And I'm like, man, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And although I wanted to act, like that was my first thing what I wanted to do. I said, you
Uh-huh.
know what? I could probably sing and act at the same time. So I picked it up and started singing, started, doing tours with Charlie's Roots. I was the youngest member then. Um, you know, started joining the bands, Marshall Montana, Ecstatic, Byron Lee and
Yeah.
Dragonaires, and from there just comes, keep going up, 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 up,
We
you
would have
know.
seen you with
So
right next to Marshall, shaking your dreadlocks and stuff, right?
no, I didn't have
Okay.
dreadlocks.
Because there's a video, I
Never
know
did, never did.
there's a video
Yeah,
um where I swear I was like, is that Roger George back then? So I didn't know for sure. I
nah,
had to
never had.
confirm. Okay, okay.
Never had any locks, man. My hair used to grow like maybe about like kid and play. I had a kid and play
Yeah.
style one time, and that was it. Never really
Okay,
had any
okay.
locks. Never had it as long enough to have plaits and all those stuff. So
That's
and that
definitely
was
the
all
most
gone. This is
inaccurate
it.
I've ever been.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe it's one of the other guys in the band. Maybe it's Farmer Nappy or Peter C. Lewis, or those are the guys that
Right.
had the dreads, and stuff. But I was always a bald head.
Nice. And just so for me, I think one of my biggest tunes that I enjoy the most is Brick.
Mhm.
And I was having that
Yes,
conversation with you
yes,
about. I feel like Break is a platinum tune that should be brought back somehow, and people should run with it, man, with TikTok and
you are
and
so right, because now is the time where people really need a break. They need a break from
yes,
COVID for real. So I
yes,
mean, it's a good time to just bring it back and talk about it. Tell the boss you want that break and you need
and
it
we
now. This COVID getting stronger. We can't refuse it. You
yes,
know what I mean? And
the
just
remix, the
I just
remix,
remix. Yeah, I think I should just go back in and just remix it and come back out.
yes, yes,
They need it. They need it right now, especially Trinidadians who've been locked down for so long, while the rest of the world was just doing their thing, and they were in captivity in that island. Just
yeah,
they have to be, the curfew was on, and there's only so much you could do. So they want a break. Trinidad want a break, and a
yes,
taste of carnival is going to be something else. I mean, I don't know how they're going to control that percussive energy that people have and ready to come out to really party and
influx of
and
people too.
let go of all the stress. But there
Hmm.
was a lot of stress just kept inside. So I mean, people gonna want to come out. I mean, vaccinated or not, they want to come out and party. They want
Yes,
to come and let that
yes.
out. Find a way to release.
No matter where you go in the world, there's no place like home in Trinidad,
Yes.
listening to
Yeah.
soca,
Hmm.
smelling the savannah, smelling the certain
Yeah.
food and
The
drinks, and
vendors. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just
Yes. The
different
atmosphere. I mean,
atmosphere. Hmm.
oh my goodness. Yeah.
You
Yep.
can't
Yep.
recreate it. I mean, maybe you could go and and bottle it and redistribute that energy and the whole
It won't be the same. It
five
wouldn't be the
senses.
same.
I don't know. Yeah,
It wouldn't be the same. You just have to be there to get that atmosphere, that feeling, that vibe. All your senses are just locked on.
right.
You're on the island of Trinidad and Tobago. You're right there in there. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes,
No
yes.
place like home for real.
So, I'm happy that you shared about the way that you got into soca, taking part
Yeah,
in the various things like, Tambu Bamboo and the different village festivities and things like that. So,
yeah,
you know, that definitely should give some of the younger folks some ideas on, just how to go about getting into the soca industry and
yeah, yeah.
building up their singing and and their
Hmm.
stage presence and all these different things because now everything is quick. Everybody want to get
Yeah.
on Instagram and do a quick thing,
It's
do a quick
it's different now, man. It's different
yeah,
now. Everybody wants to be a star, but they don't want to put the work in too. You have to put the
right.
work in. I mean, you can control your own path. You can make your own future. You just make a path for your future. You could go in as a young person coming out. You watch everything that's out there and say, you know what, I don't want to be like. Beyonce. I want to be better than Beyonce. So put
Yes.
your aim and everything so high that when you're ready, you're not just reaching for a star. You're reaching beyond the stars,
Right.
and just keep going, just keep going, So it's it's hard now in the days, our days coming up. You have to go try to get try to get. Imagine, remember, you had to try to get your cassette to
Right.
a, a record producer or somebody, and you have, it's all the hassle. Now it's so easy with all the platforms that you have now. You can blow up on TikTok, and tomorrow you could be a star. You know,
Right.
so so my thing is, you just come out unique, and try to be different, and you never know, somebody will pick it up. They'll pick it up like that.
How did you guys deal with all the different egos coming up when you were a part of it, ecstatic? I mean, a lot of you guys, is Farmer Happy, is yourself, is
Yeah.
you know Peter C. Lewis, is Marshall. I mean, and all of you
Hmm.
guys are very talented.
Yeah.
So you guys like contain the pressure.
Well, that's a very particular question, and because in the band there was a lot of egos, a lot of mix up moods and attitudes. But
Yeah.
for me, for one person, I could be very thorough about. I always try to stay in my lane. I
Okay.
always try to keep my ears open, because you learn a lot. Sometimes the things that you don't think that you would learn, it might not be positive. Even if it's negative, you're still learning from it. So what I used to do is just try to suck up as much as I can, and then later on I could filter what I want and what I don't want.
Right.
And it worked for me. So when it comes to ego, my ego was nowhere to be found, really, because
Right.
I'm a people's person. I was always a people's person. I would never walk with a chip on my shoulder, like, I am the, whatever. So I mean, it taught me a great lesson, just to stay in your lane and just be as humble as you can, to yourself and others. So
Right.
that's
So
me.
was it an organic come together, or more so, you know, something that was intentionally and put together as an instrument to push soca to the next level in your perspective?
Well, I think when Marshall was putting it together, he knew what he was doing by getting the correct players, the right people for the job.
Right.
Farmer Nappy and Peter C. Lewis and all these other cats that was in there with myself. Everybody just played a role. You just played your role, and
Right.
when everything come together, it was so unique. That's why we were forced to be reckoned with in that time. Everybody
Right.
was just great at their craft. And whatever job you have to do, everybody was mastering their job. So when we get on that stage, when we practice and we get on that stage, we are unstoppable, unbeatable. And that's how it was so great. Everybody was just ready to go.
Wow, wow.
You
That
know,
that must have been,
yeah,
I mean, you guys on stage with, 50,000 people in the crowd and more.
yeah, and more and more. Yeah, yeah, yep.
How do you, sort of adjust? I mean, that probably lends to, when you do smaller shows and,
Hmm.
sort of unplugged shows, right? You're able to
Uh-huh.
to give them that energy. You probably learn certain things, right, about people
Mhm.
and masses of people, and how to control them from just seeing them,
Yeah,
on that
yeah.
level, right? Different
It's an
vibrations.
automatic feeling. Yeah, it's an automatic thing with you. You know how to control your crowd, how to read your crowd, and see where you could get away with certain things. You can command them, because having that mic in your hand, it's like, you're almost like a god. You can
Yeah.
command them after you get them onto that. When you in that audience and you in a couple of drinks well in your head, and all you
Hmm.
have in your mind is having fun and partying, you're in a trance, and the music and the person in front of the microphone could get you to do anything. you know so we know how to read our audience. I mean, me, I know how to read my audience, and I could, command them in certain ways to do certain things. When you're on stage, when you're live on stage, so it's just like
Right.
a automatic thing that happens to you. You get that energy, and you send that energy to them. They send back the energy to you, and we just vibrating on the same level, the same
Yeah,
frequency, and we just going. So it's got to be a connection between you and your audience.
that's huge. That's huge.
Yeah, man.
I've seen you. So I've seen you performing as well in an open format. Doing some of the international songs, and who are some of the artists you like to cover and blend in with the soca music and Caribbean music and stuff.
Some of the artists that I work with or would like to work with.
Oh no, you like to cover, um, like some of
Oh,
the
I mean international.
yeah, international, yeah,
Well, for me as an artist, I do a lot of stuff. I do a lot of covers. I do jazz, reggae, calypso, R&B. So I do. Well, my the one that I love so much is R&B. So I love doing Brian McKnight is my favorite artist. Followed by Luther Vandross. These guys taught me a lot growing up, and I kind of
right,
patterned myself into like, hey, this is probably the way to go. I could probably get my style from this. So I use it as a blueprint to find Roger George. So now
right.
when I sing, I can use a little falsetto. I can change up and just go places and come right back. It's just amazing. So these are the guys that I try to render some of their stuff when I'm doing some tracks and just it's a joy. I love doing it. Just
Nice.
following these artists.
That's
In the
that's
R&B
perfect.
feel.
That's perfect for the groovy soca that is
Yeah,
definitely taking over everything.
yeah, yeah.
People seem to really enjoy groovy soca, so I'm looking
Oh
forward to
yeah,
hear some groovy soca's coming out from you, man. You know,
yeah, man. I have some. I mean, actually, I released one after what was it? My second release actually is called Hypnotize. It's a song that I did wrote and it was produced by Cliff Manswell, CKM Productions, in Frenchy Studios
yeah,
out of California. Um, that's a very different, I should say, different groovy soca. But I like to do things that's different, that's world, and not just for the islands. At
yeah.
least it could play any part of the world. And it's like
You can
world
transcend.
music. So
Well, let's
yeah,
let them
so
hear
people
it.
can look out for that. Yes, man.
All right. I've done Spotify here lined up, so let's
Yes,
check out
sir.
Hypnotized by Roger George.
Play your games, calling it.
Let's break.
Whoa, 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 whoa. My world was so cold and alone, didn't know what to do. It's strange what loneliness could make some people do. I knew one day I will meet somebody like you. I saw you in my dreams. Now you hear this can be true. No, no, hypnotized. Just one kiss from you, I'm paralyzed. I tried and still I can't open my eyes. What you do to me, I'm so surprised. I'm hypnotized, hypnotized. Just one kiss from you, I'm paralyzed. I tried and still I can't open my eyes. What you do to me, I'm so surprised. You got me hypnotized. Oh.
Yeah, I don't want to get cut off, so I get them a little taste. I get them a little taste, but
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they can get it on all platforms. I mean, you can go on and um, any platform. You could go on and check it out. Share, like, comment. Do whatever.
I love the live instruments in there. So what studio was this recorded in Miami or in Trinidad or Florida?
Well, the voice, I did the voice over here. I have a little home studio here. I do the voice. I send it back out to California.
Oh,
Cliff
Cali. Okay.
Maxwell has a studio out there. Yeah. And then I kind of called, like, what, send it to different musicians. Like Dean James did the drums. Let me see, did the guitar, and so send it to different musicians and have them put their parts in. So it's more. That's why it's so live. So the drummer is a live drummer, live guitarist. Everything, and it just comes together, and it sounds like if you can close your eyes and you think you're in a concert or something, and it's going on right there, right in
Yeah.
front of you. So I wanted to get that feel, so where people could play it in their house, boat, cars, whatever, and still feel like they're in.
For some reason, I start to lose you there. Looks like you cut off a little bit. It's all right. We will sign you back in there, and we will keep it going, man. So yes, guys, we're here with Roger George. Definitely one of the soca icons, I like to call them. The OGs in soca music. All right, let's see if we got him back.
All right.
Yeah, we got you back.
Got me? Good.
Yeah,
Sorry about that.
yeah. So, I definitely have to call you an OG in the industry.
Oh. OG, man. I'm not even 50 yet. You call me OG.
Yeah, you're OG. You don't have to be 50 to be an OG.
I know, right? Just in it for a long time.
Yeah, I've been around,
Yeah.
and I guess, since you were the younger guy, most of the time, right? Performing with some of these big bands.
Yeah, yeah. I mostly started when I was like probably 14, around 14, 15 I started. I
Right.
was doing background vocals for Shadow, for Sparrow, these older Calypsonians. I was just caught up in the mix, just known as one of the voices that you could have called on to do background vocals. I was just getting a lot of work at that youthful age. So started off at a very tender age.
Wow, wow, wow. That's amazing. I mean, and you're learning as well as you go
As you
from
go, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
you learn as you go. Yeah, yeah,
That's huge. That's huge. So, definitely seeing some of these guys, kick the bucket. Um, for now, you have to sort of fulfill that instructor kind of you know position now. Is that how you see
yeah. Well, yeah, the generation is just evolving. So you have people coming, they have kids coming up, artists coming up, and they want to look
it?
on and they want to see what the older heads are doing. And pretty soon we are the older heads. We are the ones to look up
Right.
to and see how they can pattern from us and learn from us, and just come up and come up with their own style. So
Yes.
to me, that's when I put out music. I try to do something that people can learn from, send out a positive message, than just to have something that's just there. Like, okay, yeah, that's just a song. That's all it is.
Right.
So it's up to us now to try to teach the youths that's coming behind us, about the
How do
craft.
how do some of the music? How do we get some of the soca to transcend and make it more palatable for people to just tune in a little more, because people easily tune in to not to reggae, like
Hmm.
they just fall into it a lot easier. Um, I mean, if fall into soca as well, it's not presented to enough people at at the same time. Like it's not marketed as largely. Um, so what do you think we can do to get people more listening to the soca music and stuff like that?
Well, I would say the number one thing is probably marketing. You want to make it marketable. You want to make it marketable to the world, um, so they could gravitate to it. I mean,
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with your hand in the air, jump, 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 jump. That's we think. That's how we know it. We
we
grew up
gotta
with,
embrace
with
it.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, we embrace that. But it's kind of hard to get in the world to understand that when you can tweak it a little bit to make it a little world where they can understand stuff. Like let's for instance, Turn Me On. Turn Me On went out to
right.
the UK, to the all over the world before it came back to the Caribbean, and it was a master um, a hit, you know. And they understand turn me on. That's like a worldwide saying.
Right.
So for me, Roger George, I would try to come up with different ideas and different songs that could at least have a universal language to everybody around the world they could understand, and still groove to a nice beat and still sing along with it. So it's a
Right.
big difference from trying to market a honey, here, wave here, wave here, wave there, wine here, than something that people can really understand and still groove to the music and sing along too. So
Yes. Yes.
it's just curbing your you're curbing your talent to make it worldwide. That people could
Yeah.
understand all over. You know.
And I guess which segment of other genres you intend to attach to as a vehicle to get to the people in whichever region you're trying to get to.
Well, I have a couple of stuff I'm working on right now.
Okay.
Mid-year, I'm going to release a reggae song with one of the reggae artists as well. I'm not really allowed to say who it is, but
Yeah.
it's going to be coming out. It's going to be coming out. You're going to hear about it. Um, and we're still in the process of. We have stuff that's already recorded. We're still in the process of tweaking and trying to find how we're going to market certain stuff and when we're going to bring it out to certain platforms and all that. So there's stuff in the making and
you
different
know,
genres as well.
I feel like there's definitely a lot of room for teaching something called like the logistics of creating music internationally that no one's
Hmm.
covering right now, because like what you guys producing something in different parts of the world, like you record
Yeah,
a part here, you send it to somebody else, and I feel like a lot of, including myself, right? That's something that I would love to do is find different people and get their samples all together and have someone mix it.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I consider myself like an ambassador and investor in
Of
soca music.
course, of
You know,
course. Yeah. Hmm.
so how do we, people like me who might be listening, you know, what would you say is the best way for them to go about doing that? Um, playing their role, just like you guys play your role.
Well, yeah. First of all, you do a lot of research. You got to know what you want to get into, the songs you want to get into, and you could probably meet with some of the artists. I mean, it's not that hard.
Right.
Now with like Zoom calls like this, interviews and stuff. It's worldwide. Platforms are there, easy to call up somebody and say, hey, can I have a an interview meeting with you or whatever, and just get in touch with people. It's easier this way now than flying to a country and really having to meet with this person to
Right.
discuss certain things. So I think the platforms that we have now, YouTube and Instagram and IG and all these other stuff, you can make use of it and make it work for you. And
Right.
that can be your vessel to get to the next person or the next spot that you want to go to. You know,
Nice. Nice.
yeah.
So we think about icons like Kitchener, Sparrow,
Hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
um, and their music, Shadow, and how people like calypso, calypso music.
Yeah, yeah,
How do we not lose that? Like I feel like calypso is definitely music that stands the test of time, just like reggae music continuously
uh-huh.
does. So you know why isn't there an effort to like just to keep that that part of the history intact? um to keep that.
Wow, that is a great question. Um, I think some of the younger Calypsonians are still trying to do that. They're, if you look at some of the shows that they have in Trinidad too, like
Right.
Aaron
Aaron Duncan.
Duncan,
Yeah.
Aaron Duncan, yeah, he's one of them that's going to take the mantle with him. He's going to bring the other youths behind him.
Nice.
He's carrying that flag as a youngster coming up. You know, so they have some youths out there who coming up who are already they're already little icons coming up. That people are gonna start following and patterning themselves from. So I'm not
Nice.
scared. I'm not scared about it. I'm not scared for calypso because we'll always have calypso. You know.
Okay. Okay. That's
Yeah.
good to know. Because you know it's really interesting that you know I've been to like some crazy far places and met people who have an interest for records and stuff, and
Yeah.
in their collection they will have a Sparrow record or a
Hmm.
Kitchener record, and it always
Yeah.
that is something that would or Henry Belafonte, and that would
Harry
just blow me.
Belafonte. Yeah. Yeah.
Harry
Yeah.
Belafonte,
Yeah.
and that would just blow me away. Like
Hmm.
who's this? This person
Yeah.
from the middle of America, nowhere. you know,
Yeah.
Caucasian. How you find out about this? So so it's like what did they do? I mean, and without all the technology we have today to get their music to
Hmm.
that point to where you know who were the people playing the part to help get that to where it's at now, and what are we
Well,
doing
and them
to
times
keep it there,
them times it was easier in the days of Harry Belafonte and some of the older legends. And them times it was easy. You hear a song
yeah.
from Kitchener, you do some remix and all that, and you properly market it and put it in the right places. It can blow up. Other people like it. Like, for instance, as simple as it is, when I was in Ecstatic and Turn Me On just came on,
Hmm.
we used to do it a different way. I used to put different twist to it, and wherever Ecstatic would play Turn Me On, people used to think that that's my song.
Wow.
I'm just singing the song. Until one time, we did a show with Kevin Little, and we introduced him to the song, and when he come on to do the song, they were surprised that, hey, who's this guy? You know. So going back in the day where Harry Belafonte and a lot of people think that most of the songs that Harry Belafonte sang is his songs. It is not his songs. He just did a
Wow.
remake of it and got it
Yeah.
popular. You know, so it could still. I mean, it happened then. It could still happen now. At that time, they never had all these platforms that they have now. They never had all
Right.
these ways where they can get things up immediately. And so many views and like thousands of views in a couple of days. So
Hmm.
we have a bigger, better chance now to take it
Right.
to the next level, you know, take it to different worlds, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think the what people like is the feel of remembering, the nostalgia behind it, the tune, and
Hmm.
remembering where they were when they hear
Yeah.
that song. So um like daylight come, right? I mean that
Yeah,
daylight,
Dale.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think a lot of
Hmm.
those, the way that they put it is like, they're always like someone dressed in linen, you know,
Yeah.
dancing to this, right? Like remembering they in some Caribbean island or something. So
Yes, yes, yeah.
I feel like the more that we put that into the music, so people could grasp it, I feel
Yeah,
that will work.
yeah. I mean, I saw Voice, as you say, that he have a track that's out right now that really it take you back to the real Kitchener days and them other things. I don't know if you heard it. I can't remember the name of the song, but it's a brand new one that he just released. Now you should check it out. The
Okay.
beat and everything and the way that he phrased it, it takes you back to like if it's Kitchener singing or some other old legend Calypsonian singing,
Yeah.
and it's very catchy. It's really nice. That's a perfect example of it. And people like Voice and the other younger youths, they
They
know
know
what
what they
to
need
do,
to do.
and they're doing it. They know what they need to do, and they're taking part in of that. And they realize now that the older stuff, a lot of people is trying to bring back the older stuff now because it had a lot of, I mean, it played a great part in that area. So a lot of people trying to bring it back now and do some remix, with all of the older stuff. Even I'm looking at some stuff too to try to to
Bring
try
it
to
back.
refix, yeah,
Refix.
refix as they
Yeah.
say. Why not? It's our thing. Why not?
Yes. Even like
Jamaicans
with,
do it, the other people do it, and everybody else do it.
yeah, they take one
Yeah,
tune and they put it in roots. They put it in dub. They put
yeah,
it in rock
yeah,
steady. They put it in.
exactly. And as soon as an American song come out, you hear it in reggae, you hear it in this, you hear a Spanish version, you hear
Right.
you know a Brazilian version. So why not? I mean, Hot 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 had so many different versions. I think it was 20 something versions after it
Right.
came out. So
And that's a
yep,
classic.
why
You can
not?
see that on
And
movies and
that is a
everywhere.
classic. Oh yeah, yeah, yep,
Wow. So, what
yeah.
is something that you would like to tell your fans, people looking to hear from you and things like that? What's something that you want to share with them that they might not know that's coming down the pipe?
Well, just want to let my fans know there's so much good work, so much good music is going to be coming out from Roger George. This is like the reboot of Roger George, mentally,
Nice.
physically, spiritually. I'm going to be recording a lot of stuff. I'm going to be releasing a lot of stuff. I've been on the back burner for a while, just doing different things. I guess life caught up with me, and I kind of like put it apart and just concentrate on and just working. But now I just want to share as much as I can and give the people some good music. So look
Nice.
out for some songs coming out, different genres. I'll probably be doing some tours again coming up just now. Check out my pages, IG, Facebook. I'll be advertising some stuff, telling you where I'm going to be, stuff like that. So just look out for
Nice.
some good music coming out from Roger George.
Besides Trinidad and Tobago, where would you call, one of the best places for you to perform? You love to perform.
Um, Besides Trinidad, I mean, I love performing here in Florida. I mean, here is home. You
Okay.
know, um, I get a lot of different engagements here. And for instance, last night I did a wedding with AT and Charles because he lives here now. And we kind of
Wow.
hook up with a lot of different artists that's out here. We have Nigel Lewis out here. Um, you know, different reggae artists and all that out here too. So I would
Right.
say here, Florida is my next best place to perform. You know, I feel at home when I'm here. I mean, it is home. Away from home.
Home away from you
you
can still
know.
get some curry chicken. I've never
Oh,
been.
come on.
I've flown through. Like I'm a West Coast person. I've always
Yeah,
lived on the
yeah,
West
yeah,
Coast. I'm one of the
yeah,
Trinidadians that I didn't move to New York. I didn't move to Miami. I've always
yeah,
lived on the West Coast. So I mean,
yeah,
including Hawaii, Alaska,
yeah,
and now Seattle and even Texas. So
yeah.
I'm a West Coast man, right? So
Yes, yes.
when if I come to Miami, I know I need to go to Miami at some point, and Florida. What's some spots I need to hit up, um,
Let me
food
tell you
and
something.
music
There's
wise.
so much. You feel like if it's a mini Trinidad when you're here, because
Wow.
I mean, because I know what you're talking about. I used to live in California before. I was in when I just moved out to Trinidad. I was in California, Anaheim, Orange County, and I lived out there
Nice,
for
nice, nice.
about close to 2 years, and then I moved here, and then I realized that wow, this is a big difference, because as you know,
Yeah.
in the West Coast, if I had to drive for a roti shop, I can't remember finding one for less than maybe about an hour and a half, which part I used to live.
Yeah.
So when you come to Florida, man, there's so much to choose from. You have Joy's Roti Shop, you have Tabanka, you have LT's Roti Shop. Some of the big ones. Um, you have places where you can go and like George Roti Shop and Lalu's and stuff. These are places that they're roti shops, but in the nighttime they become um, like a place where you could go see an artist. You might
Wow.
hear Iowa George live in George Roti Shop or Lalu's. So these are the places where you can hear a live band in the nighttime and you can still come in the daytime and have a roti. You know what I mean? So
Nice.
when you come
Yeah.
Florida, these spots you really got to hit up and check out. You know.
That's sort of what
So
we're
book your
trying
flight, man. Book your flight.
to Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's sort of what we've been doing here over the last 3 years. We
Yeah,
have
yeah.
about three different Caribbean restaurants. One is a Trinidadian restaurant called
Uh-huh.
Palms. We were doing, she has the roti and curry and goat, and
Wow,
so we
that's
did a
good.
couple
In
events
Seattle.
there in Seattle, yeah. And
Right, right,
then
right.
we teamed up with a more Cuban kind of Caribbean sandwich place, and we did some events
Yeah,
there, and including um, another one up in Fremont, which was huge. So they
yeah.
have a festival up in Fremont where people are naked everywhere, and
Okay, okay,
yeah,
okay, okay.
I talk about people riding bike naked and all kind of stuff like that.
Yeah, I think I saw some pictures of that one time. I
And
mean, I visited Seattle way back in the day when Charlie's Roots. I think David Rudd had a show somewhere out there,
really,
and yeah, and that was like my first ever time in Seattle. Years of
wow,
that's years back. But I would love to come out there now. I'd love to come out there and do it. I mean, come on, you could put something together. Anybody listening out
yes,
there wants to hire Roger George in Seattle? Yes,
yes,
just give me a ding. Come out there and give you some soca and nice up the place a little bit, man. Give you some a taste of carnival.
yes. It's a
You
bit
know.
locked down here still, but as soon as it open up, my
Oh, you
thing
still at
is
50%.
we still have 50%, yeah. So,
Oh, okay, okay, okay,
but
okay. Good,
when it
good, good,
opened
good,
up,
good.
man, like you know, I teamed
Yeah,
up
man. Definitely,
with
definitely.
some of the luxury hotels as well before
Okay,
um to
okay.
do soca, and people came out and they
Yeah.
loved it.
Yeah,
So
nice,
a
nice. That's
versatile fella
nice.
like you will be a
Nice,
great
man.
addition.
Oh yeah, they're getting everything. They ain't getting just soca, man. They're getting R&B, they're getting reggae, they're getting, I mean, all kind of stuff. They'll be surprised to know that coming out from one person, you
Nice,
know.
nice.
So that'd be
Looking
that'd be
forward.
something to look into.
Well, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. So
Yeah, yeah.
just need to get back to 100% and
Yes, yes,
gonna do
yes, yes.
things. So
Yeah.
cool, cool.
But this too shall pass. So it's just gotta take its time and pass. Take its
Yes.
course. Yeah, as everything else. So
One more question
very
for you.
soon you'll be out
So,
of that. Hmm.
um, as far as mental health for anyone, for artists especially, right?
Hmm.
What are some of the things Roger George himself does to maintain mental health, and during this
Hmm.
pandemic, and what could you share with some of our viewers?
Well, the most important thing is to stay strong, be positive. Um, once you see your energy is very important, and once you know how to control your energy, how to vibrate on a higher frequency, because we all build with frequency, and
Right.
you know how to keep vibrating on a higher frequency all the time. Don't try to vibrate on a low frequency because it'll cause you to get into woe is me. I don't know why I'm this. I don't know why I'm that, and I don't know why I'm this, and just ponder and just go. That's when you're just going under.
Right.
You know, just keep telling yourself that, yeah, you know what, this is just a test. You know, there's more. There's so much more to come. So much more that I can do, and I'm just gonna leap over this. You know, and just keep going up
Yes.
and up and up and up. So it all starts mentally. Once you have that in your head mentally, that you know what, this pandemic it's not gonna last. It's just, a period that you're going through. We have to go through it. We have to wear the mask. We have to do whatever. We have to sanitize, but it's not forever.
Right.
Nothing stays forever. And we're going to get through that.
It's like someone try to call you again, man. So you'll hear that. Make sure that you keep your energy and your vibes high. You heard it right here on Seattle Soca. We're live with Roger George, and we're talking about, his journey in soca and where we're at today and what we could expect going forward. Some great music coming from him, and also having him right here in Seattle, Washington, in Washington State. All right, so Seattle Soca. And in the meantime, I'm gonna play a taste of Carnival while we try to get him back on the air, because you know how the technology goes. Sometimes it's working great, sometimes it's not. So here we go.
Technology.
Yeah, technology, the thing go.
Technology. Yeah, technology. You got
You
to
have to
move
be
with it.
quick. You gotta be quick. You gotta be quick.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so
So a
it's been
taste of the
great.
carnival. A
Mm-hmm.
taste of the carnival for the people. I like people to go check it out on all platforms, share it, like it, and make a comment. This is not just for Trinidad Carnival. This is for the carnivals all over the world. A taste of carnival. It's better than no
Right.
carnival. So let's just come together, love what we do, love one another, and just keep the joy, spread the love, be safe. That's most important. Be safe in the carnival. You know what I mean? Because you want to be out there where you're safe, and you don't want to go back in and take anything back to your families and get them infected or anything like that. So most
Right.
importantly is, party safe in the party cities. So it's all about a safe carnival. And Seattle, I would see you soon.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
I like that. Party safe in the party cities. I like that.
Yeah. Yes, I.
All right, bless brother, and thank you again for joining us and having a great conversation, and learning about your journey and where you are now and where you're
Yes,
gonna
sir.
be in the future. So
Yes, sir.
appreciate it.
All right. Thank you very much, man. I
We will
appreciate it.
we will link up like they say in Trinidad.
Definitely, definitely.
All right,
All
thank
right.
you.
Have
Thank
a
you.
blessed day, man. Give
Have a
thanks. Yeah.
blessed day. Yes.
Queen of Carnival, every year we are the biggest show on the earth. I can't wait no more for the carnival. I can't wait no more. It's traditional. Can't wait to see still back on a floating tongue. Masqueraders coming down.
That is tune. That is tune, boy. That is tune. All right. So thank you everybody for tuning in, and of course you could always find it right there on at Seattle Soca on podcasts, and Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can find it right there. So make sure and head over to those platforms and follow. And of course, right here on YouTube, it's going to be here for you to come back and check out and hear all the great stuff you might have missed a second a minute or two ago. All right. So have a blessed day, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Seattle Soca. We out of here.